Afternoon and welcome to day 9 coverage of the WPT and all Vegas poker. I'm Sherry Pluskota and I'm your host this afternoon. And ASG and Kieran Chess are here to help me along by being my co-host. Say hey, you guys.
Hey,
Well,
Listen, I'm traveling. Today's a crazy day. Just got my hair done and I'm on the way to my doctor's appointment. And I was hoping to be in the Chick-fil-A parking lot so I could do the podcast from the parking lot and then drive from there to my doctor's appointment when the time comes, but the traffic is slowing me down. So I should be to that parking lot in about 3 or 4 minutes, and hopefully, it'll be a little bit more quiet for sure. But you know what? I'm just going to hit the ground running. First, I'm going to say thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevated Results can design that plan. Reach out to them, follow them on Twitter and on their um, website at elevatedresultspt.com. Also, you can find my past recordings of my spaces and interviews on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. I'm going to kind of hit the ground running on a topic because I'm a little bit hot under the collar, so to speak, about it this morning. And I don't mean the dog collar because I don't wear one, but maybe some do. And God bless you do. They do kind of look nice. But anyway, I am going to bring up the topic of dogs at the poker table. Give me your thoughts, Karen.
I don't like dogs at the poker table. I feel like um that let me just also say I've never had a problem with one of the dogs at the table. So I've never had a problem, but just the potential for, people with allergies, you know, dogs can misbehave and bite someone. They're unpredictable. They can stink. They can have fleas. So, yeah, I personally don't like the dogs at the table.
Okay, thank you. How about you, ASG?
table's already a tight squeeze. Um, so, yeah, I'm not a fan of anything that gives less room. That includes dogs.
Well, and I appreciate that. I'm going to let Maddie up in case he has a comment on the topic before I give you my opinion on the matter. Maddie, yes, you got a comment on about dogs at the poker table.
If you're talking about the girl with the blue hair, I actually sat with her once at like a 400 or a 600 opener, and the dog actually licked my feet.
Okay, so does that mean you have no problem with dogs at a poker table?
I'm like conflicted about it, but
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think they. I just feel bad for the dogs, and people are like allergic and stuff too. So like I love dogs, but me personally, I don't think they belong in a casino. It's just my opinion.
Right. And that's what I'm asking everybody's thoughts and opinions. And I have a strong opinion for several reasons. Let me first tell you a story. This is a true story. And the reason I know it's a true story is because it happened to me. So I am playing at a poker league, at a bar league. And we have started the game. We're probably 20 minutes into the game. And this lady walks in with a large dog. I want to say it was German Shepherd, but I could be wrong. I really don't remember what it was, but for some reason, German Shepherd is in my head. So, anyway, now keep in mind, I am really afraid of dogs. Like, you will never meet somebody more afraid of dogs than me. Second, I am allergic to dogs. And for me, that doesn't just mean breaking out in welts, that means a full blown asthma attack. And that will send me to death. So it is a very serious health issue for me. Okay, so the game has started. This lady comes in, and the pit boss sits her at our table. And before, like, she even gets a hand, I walk over to the pit boss and I say, I can't sit by this dog. I'm allergic to it. Okay, so if you were the pit boss, somebody tell me what you would have done in that situation since the lady has come in late, the game has already started. What what do you think the pit boss should do in that situation? Karen, you first.
So let me just make sure I got the facts right. So she's coming in late. She's about to get seated at a table, and somebody at the table says that they're allergic.
Right.
But you can't put them at the table. So you have to, I mean, since that rule's already there that they're allowed to bring the dog, that's the problem. But what you do in the meantime, I think, is you have to put them at a different table and maybe even poll the table to see if there are allergies or concerns. But it's just a bad rule in my view.
Okay, so are you saying move the player that's allergic or move the person with the dog?
Person with the dog.
Okay, ASG, what do you think should happen?
Um, I I mean, ideally you could just, I mean, you wouldn't need to move anybody. You can just, make sure that they're sitting at different tables. What if they go to the final table? So I think if there's a rule saying that you can have dogs, then kind of like you just have to maybe tell the person who's allergic that it's kind of like if back when smoking was allowed, that like if you can't deal with it, then we'll give you a refund, but we can't really do anything. I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty spot.
Okay, thank you for those comments. Maddie S., what do you think about that?
I just I'll reiterate what I said earlier about Sherry. I just personally don't think dogs should be at casinos, and I know certain people have mental issues where dogs are necessary. I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think dogs belong in casinos in any format
okay,
because
fair
of
enough.
what you're describing with people with allergies and issues like that and health reasons. It's like having them on airplanes. It's just I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to continue on, and I appreciate all of those opinions. Now, I have run poker games before. Okay, so first of all, the person hasn't seen any hands yet, right, at that table. So, in my opinion, the player with the dog should be moved to another table because the player with the allergies has already seen hands at this table. The player that has the dog has not seen any hands, so it's no, harm, no foul that that person's being moved to another table. What actually happened? The pit boss did move the person to another table and she threw a shit fit, telling me I hate dogs. I hate people that have medical issues. I hate people, she went into this whole tirade and I said nothing. And of course I've been playing poker with all these people for years, so they know me. And this is someone none of us know. It's a new player. So I just sat quietly because I figured the pit boss will handle it. Andy does. She moves to another table. From time to time, you still hear her accusing me of hating her because she needs a dog and hating the dog and all this crap. So I just continue on. I get moved to another table, and now my back is to the door that it's sort of like a lower level of a bar, and then there's stairs. You go up to the next level, and then there's another set of stairs a little over to the right to go up to the main level. So I am moved to a table, and my back is to the stairs that you go to the next level at. I mean, this is an hour, 2 hours later. I'm playing poker, and somebody at the table says to me, "Do you realize the lady with the dog is standing behind you?" And so I turn around, and sure enough, she's standing behind me. And I look at the person, I said, "How long has she been there?" And he says, "A while." So I call the I wave to the pit boss, and the pit boss comes over and asks her what she's doing. And she says, "I'm going to see if she's really allergic," putting my life at risk of going into an asthma attack because this dog is behind me. Okay? This is how crazy this shit is out of control, out of hand, as far as I'm concerned. So the pit boss says to her, "You need to leave this room because you're already out of this tournament and really have no business being in this room anymore." So he makes her leave the poker room. Okay. This lady is yelling throughout the whole bar about me. Okay. I have to call the police. The bar owner comes down to me and says, am worried about you and I think we need to call the police. I said, you know what? I'll call the police. So I called the police so that I could safely get out of this bar and bar league poker because of this lady and her dog. Now, is that fair? Is it fair she's putting my health at issue? Yeah, I don't think so. One person's health issues is not more important than another person's health issues. They all matter. The difference is you have a dog that's protected by stupid, ridiculous laws, like the laws that ban straws in our nation. Same type of law. Do we need laws in place to protect those animals? Yes, we do. But we also have to make sure those laws don't take the rights of human beings away. Because I deserve to be safe at a poker table, safe from having an asthma attack because I'm allergic to your dog, and safe from being afraid to be there because I'm afraid of dogs. If you are so mentally ill that you are so dependent on this animal, maybe a poker table is not the place you should be. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatric doctor. I don't know. That's for you to decide. But if you're there, guess what? You shouldn't be putting me in danger either. I matter too. Isaac, did you have a comment or did your mic just go off?
I think it went off on its own.
No worries. No worries. Anybody else have any other comments? I'm off my soapbox.
Nah, nah. I honestly agree. I don't know about having dogs at the poker table. That's kind of a I think that's a 2025 thing right there for sure.
Well, and it's just disappointing to me when I heard Jessica talking on her video, all the things that she is complaining about or wants sympathy for, she's not willing to give that empathy, sympathy for other people. Just because I don't have a dog doesn't mean that my health isn't at risk because of your dog or, anything else, even smoke, whatever. Like, I matter too. Everybody matters. And whether it is for good reason or not, if somebody doesn't want the dog in the poker room, their opinion matters too. Like, we all matter. Nobody's opinion is more valuable than anyone else's. So anyway, okay, I promised I was off my soapbox and I just kept going anyway. So sorry, just was a little disappointed in some of the reactions to some of the comments, and the rude ones I don't care about. I'm talking about the serious comments, because everybody matters. So let's move on unless anybody else has something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, but not even disagreeing with anything you said or anybody else has said, but there's no need for people to harass each other on Twitter. I've seen certain people going back and forth, and then, oh, I'm proud that this person's now protecting their tweets or banning this person or whatever because they annoyed whoever so much. There's no need for any of that either.
Right. And the hate mob. Let's cancel them because they disagree with what I say. People know from day one I'm not a part of a hate mob, never will be, and I never will protect or stand with a hate mob. I don't care. People are entitled to their opinions. I'm entitled to agree with them or disagree. If I disagree, I move on. I don't have to attack them with a hate mob. Like, who the fuck are you people in a hate mob? Nobody's. Just like the rest of us. We're nobodies too. But
This reminds me of something I just saw. There's this comedian that I follow. He's hilarious. Like he always roasts his crowd, right? And at one of his shows, he was roasting somebody. And she was a female, and she got up, right? And she started doing the thing like, "Yeah, we're not gonna take this shit," right? And she thought everybody was gonna back her up, and nobody did. So it's kind of those vibes right there, where it's like sometimes people think they speak for everybody. It's like just speak for your fucking self, and if you
Yes.
were right, you were right. If you were wrong, you were wrong. Keep it pushing. It's not too hard,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah.
maybe some of these folks, maybe you should choose a smaller dog. I mean, maybe you should choose a smaller dog that can sit on your lap and you can pet and find comfort in that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, why do you have to have a huge dog either? I don't know. But I think if that were for me, that I would need to bring a pet with me, just for traveling purposes alone, the smaller dog would have to be the choice in my mind. But what the fuck do I know?
I mean, but like, what if I had a pet cockroach? You know what I'm saying? And his name was Smithy, and
Right?
Smithy's like my good luck charm. You know?
Well, somebody said in one of the comments, wait till you see my brown recluse spider that they're going to
Yeah, yeah. Brown recluse. Oh hell no! I have those out here in front of my house.
listen. We have them here in Georgia. And as a matter of fact, my hairdresser, this is probably 20 years ago, got bit by one and went to the emergency room and they sent him home. And an hour later, the poor guy was dead. So you take those spiders very seriously, folks.
This kid I knew got
Oh,
bit in the neck, Shari, and like it looked like The Walking Dead after. So like it wasn't like he had to go to the hospital like what you were saying or death or anything, but like he looked like somebody took like a chunk out of his neck for like a month. Like I've never seen a spider bite. That
Yeah, they're
yeah,
bad.
those
yo,
are no joke.
Maddie, 100%. I agree, bro. Like, out here in LA, a bunch of my boys, we've been through that because we all live in areas that got big ass trees, and yeah, I've seen a wound that looks like a bullet wound from a brown recluse spider.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen anything like that before from an insect. And this was up north. It wasn't down here in Florida. So it's like they're not really that prevalent up. It was like up kind of where like ASG is. So like he'll tell you like it's not like those are like really abundant. So it was crazy when it
They're
happened.
like sneaky bastards. Like they hide in your shoes and in your dirty
That's where it
laundry.
got him. It got him inside his
Yeah.
house, Sherry. It wasn't outside. He
You
got
go
bit
Oh,
to
inside.
reach in your hamper to get the dirty laundry out to put it in your wash machine. And guess what? They like to hang out in that dirty laundry. That's how you'd be amazed how many people get bit with just doing laundry. Like it's
oh yeah.
nuts.
And the shoe one though, the shoe one is the classic one. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell y'all how many times I'm like, oh, let me pull this thing out, and then some big ass spider like lunges out. I'm like, oh yeah. But you know what? They love to hide, and this is something I always tell my kids about spiders. It's like they don't want to bite you. They don't even want to be near you.
Right.
It's just it happens sometimes, you
Right
know,
on.
and it sucks. But yeah, my little cockroach Smithy, I don't know, you know, like he matters too.
He matters too.
He matters too. You feel me? So it's like if I want to have a cockroach at the table, can I have a cockroach at the table?
And the answer to that question is if it has its papers and is medically necessary. So just go online and print off those papers and bring them with you.
Yo, that would be the wildest shit ever. I don't even think that's in any of my bingo cards for the next 5 years. If
Well,
somebody
that's
got
what
an
I was gonna tell
emotional
you about that
support.
too, Shari. Like that girl, I don't want to like diagnose her, but like she's actually one of the people that I would say might need one of those dogs, like if it was anyone that needed it. But so many people abuse it down here because of that, where it's like you don't really even need proper documentation. And like in the ballroom at any given time, you'll always see probably, I'd say, like 15 big dogs at the Hard Rock. Like, so it's
And
just
that's the
people abuse it
problem,
now.
right? Those
Yeah,
that really truly need the animal with them are now part of a bigger crowd of people that just think it's cool to bring their dog along.
that's what
And
I'm, yeah,
yeah,
100%.
and they can just print it offline and, all of a sudden there's service dog. And,
It's illegal to ask them, Sherry. Like it's
oh no, of
illegal to ask
course.
somebody, which
Of
it's just
course.
it's crazy to me.
It's mind boggling. And I do think the laws need to be revamped on the topic because I think people have found loopholes or whatever. Like in this case, who cares? I can print it off. You can't question me. But, Odie Baker mentioned in his Twitter feed that some of these dogs have actually bitten people at the Poker Ghost studio and at Resorts World, the dogs he pictured. So, you know, are they truly trained animals if they're biting people in public. I don't know. I don't know I don't train them. I don't claim to know about the training, but my understanding is if they're trained for that purpose, that there's no way they're biting in public. So I don't know. I
It's
have
just the
no.
law numbers. It's like think about it. If there's 1,000 dogs that go through a casino, one or two, there's always going to be an instance where that happens.
Well, but my point is, I feel like um, if they are medically necessary and they are trained properly, they're not going to be the dogs that are
Yeah.
biting in public, is my point.
No, I'll give you that. I agree with
They're
that.
not trained though. Just so you know, like it's different, right? Because there's like CNI dogs, right? But emotional support animals is like a whole other thing,
Yeah, that's a
and
good point.
they're not
Um, I beg to differ with
bred.
you. I beg to differ with you that
Oh no
if
no no,
you,
but hold on though. I'm not done with what I was saying. What I was saying is that the laws in order for you to have that animal be that is they're soft. Anyone can do it. That's the issue. Is that before you had a CNI dog or you had certain trained assistive dogs that they were for people who really needed them and they came from places where they were born and raised and trained to be that kind of dog. But if you just have a dog and you get the paperwork, which you can do pretty easily, you can just make your dog an emotional support
It
animal.
is. My Frenchie
well,
is that
that's
way.
my point. But that's my
Yeah.
point exactly, and that's why I say the laws need to be looked at and changed because
Yep.
you need to prove to me that that dog went through the proper training, or your dog's not going to be allowed in my
Because
business.
Sherry, mine has the paperwork for it. My dog is fucking useless. Like you
I have
think
a
he's
very
trained?
I have a very good friend who suffered a stroke a few years ago, and he got a dog from. They drove up to Knoxville to pick up this dog from the training site, and he had to do all kind of paperwork to get the through the government to get whatever to have that medically necessary dog. And to me, the fact that we don't ask for proof that that dog is certified just just allows people to print it offline and any dog can be considered a medically necessary dog.
Yeah,
My point
that
my point
I'm not
is that they should be questioned and paperwork should be official. Otherwise that dog should not be allowed.
I'm not an attorney, but the emotional support thing isn't really a thing that people have to honor, from what I've heard. So if
And
you're planning to like deny somebody, I would definitely check into that. But I think that that started to become a thing, and then and it probably definitely depends on where you're at and what the venue allows and all of those things. But
Yeah,
this
in
whole
LA,
thing where
in
you
LA
just
that
print
shit's
off a thing
rampant.
isn't really a required thing, I don't think, by law. It has to be from like a doctor, an
that's
actual,
what I'm saying.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. That we have to somehow police so those that are printing it offline are not allowed to bring dogs. So only those that have gone through the proper training and the proper paperwork can bring their dogs because it is medically necessary. That's my
Now
point.
the other thing with that, Sherry, is at my place of business, let's say, I'm not going to be going out and stopping somebody from bringing an emotional, and asking them for the paperwork and all that stuff, because like I think that's even somewhat problematic. I don't know what you're really allowed to do. So
But that's what I'm saying, Brian, that the laws need to be changed so that can be done. Because right
right.
now, you cannot do it. You cannot question. You cannot ask for proof. You just have to accept that whatever that person's telling you is the truth. And we see people are
Right.
taking advantage of that. So we need to curtail that somehow. So, guess what? The laws need to be changed so that a business will not be prosecuted for asking for proof that that dog meets the requirements required by law to be a support dog. That's my
I,
point
I I
exactly.
think the other thing too is that social media is just a terrible place to discuss these kind of things, because everybody like jumps to their side and assumes the other side is completely
Sure.
like on the other side of things. And Jessica or whoever it may be, like, that's fine. Like you need an animal. I think most people, if it's not just like I want to bring my dog to the poker table, would be supportive of that. But like all that the other side would hear from that is that you want to shut out people that have a disability, and
Well,
that
that's
isn't
what
the
they
case.
well, that's what they make it to be. Or they
Right.
make it to be that I hate dogs. I love dogs. I never said I don't like dogs. I'm just afraid of dogs and I'm allergic to dogs. But the part of their argument or their targeting of someone like me is, oh, she just hates dogs and has no compassion for people with disabilities or illnesses. Well, no, I'm afraid of dogs and I'm asthmatic, which is caused by being exposed to dogs. That's one of the allergens that I'm allergic to that'll send me to an asthma attack. I
The
have a
thing
medical issue.
the thing that bugs me is these people that come and I mean, you don't know whatever the reason. Let's
Right.
assume they need the dog, or they don't need the dog, but they definitely don't need. I saw one guy, he had like two dogs with him, and then he had like one on his chest, like in a sack. You're like, and then certainly the people that put the dog up on the table and they think
Yeah.
it's funny to take pictures with the dog on the on the rail
That's
there.
triggering. That is
It's
so
like
triggering.
it.
Oh God.
No, like seriously, the guy with the what is it, the koala sack with the dog in it. Like I busted him. Like I was just like, okay, you are done. We are taking all of your chips. Like you need to leave, sir. You're
Oh,
just annoying. And I
Brian.
love dogs.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with whether or not we like dogs at all, right? But that's part of their, ploy to get their way. They're going to use that as, oh, they just hate dogs. No, we don't.
Well,
We
you know what the
don't.
thing is too is that things like PETA make all of this shit so much more difficult, right? Because the moment someone starts like a person like that, they'll start screaming, "Oh, you hate animals," right? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, here come all the PETAites, right?
Yeah.
That come, and then everybody wants to quote unquote cancel people and all that dumb shit. When really it just comes down to like common sense. Why you want to put an animal in a stressful situation like that? A lot of
And it's,
animals are not
yeah.
around that many people to begin with. That when they see hundreds of people around them, they're gonna freak the fuck out.
And it's not really fair to the dog to sit there hours. They don't go to the bathroom. Some of them are being put into diapers because the owners don't want to take them out to the bathroom. Like, it's not fair to the dog either. Now, granted, if it is medically necessary, okay, the dog's been trained for all that kind of stuff. And,
Right.
whatever. But, oh, mm-mm.
Yeah, I walked by a guy. One actually, I think it was the guy that was pictured, the other guy that Matt put in that post. But I walked by that guy at the World Series. It's like midnight, and the dog is like you could just tell by the look on its face, like, are you serious? Like,
Right,
what am I doing here? You're going to a place, you're going to be there 12 plus hours. Like you said perfectly, Sherry. If it's a service animal, then it's been trained. But even service animals, like police dogs, like they don't go and work them for
right,
13 hours a day. Like
right.
that's not okay.
Yeah, and you have
So
to kind of feel sorry for the dogs as well. It just doesn't seem fair, but what do I know? I try to look at the whole picture on the topic, on any topic, and this one for me, yeah. Why? Because I could die because that dog's there, and I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just being truthful, and for there'd be no consideration for me or my health. Is that really fair? I don't think so. I don't think
well,
so.
and a service animal too is usually, a lot of times they're using like the what are they I
Right.
don't know the right
Hyperallergenic dogs.
whatever whatever the
Yeah,
word is.
like
I'm not gonna get it.
a poodle, a Maltese.
Yeah,
What's the
and
yeah,
and either way, those dogs are getting groomed constantly, and they're you know they're probably cleaner than most poker players.
You're probably not wrong. And that's a good point too. Like, what if you're a poker player, why not choose a hyperallergenic dog if you know that you're going to be going to the poker table with that dog? Why not choose a hyperallergenic dog? That's a good point. I don't know.
Well, just want to drop in and say hello. I
Wow.
hope you guys all have a great rest of the day
Well, a Merry
and
Christmas to you and your family,
Merry
bud.
Christmas. Thank you. Good
Good to
good
see you.
seeing everybody.
Been too
All right.
long, software. Been too long,
Yeah, I've
bro.
been busy. I don't think I'm gonna make it out. What date?
The meetup
It's
game is
the
Friday
Friday.
at the Bellagio at 2.
All right. Well, let's see. All right. Have a good day, you
All
guys.
right. Merry Christmas, Brian.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye. Miss our days of hosting together. We had some fun days for sure. All right, you guys, let me read down some of these tournaments. I'm just going to go through about 6 of the venues, and that's it for today. Over at the WPT at 11 a.m. is the $1,100 Prime Day 1D, $5 million guarantee, 40K starting stack, 40-minute blinds. At 1 p.m. is the restart of event number 15, the Torse, that's TORSE, Torse Tournament. And at 7:30 p.m. is $1,100 milestone to the World Championship, Day 1A. 25 seats being given away, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds. Then at 9 p.m., the No Limit Turbo is a $600 buy-in, 50K guarantee, 30K starting stack, 20-minute blinds. Over at the Bellagio at 12 and 5 is $150 No Limit, 2K guarantee, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds. At the Mandalay Bay at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. is a $60 no limit, no guarantee tournament, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. I'm going to stop right there because honestly, I got to get to the doctor. And I really wanted to go over the stuff about the meetup game before I start driving, and you guys can continue on with the space if you want, um, because it just gets so loud when I am driving and trying to be on the space. So, of course, as we talked about a moment ago, the meetup game is Friday at the Bellagio. Be there or be square, 2 p.m. Come one, come all. Everybody's welcome, of course. Some of the prizes we have for the Splash the Pots are the Green Visor Gang are going to give us some Phase 6 passes, 16 main event Phase 6 games at $320 prize pools, 4 mixed mentor games at $320 prize pools. Again, this is what the passes unlock. And there is 4 mint incentive games, and those are have a $200 prize pool, and the final table pays 9 spots. Anything you want to add to that, Isaac? Uh-oh, did I lose Isaac? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. All right. I think my signal's good, though.
Okay, do you want to add anything to what I said about the passes that you guys are giving away?
Uh, no, because as is, we are going to announce the beginning of our season soon and put out all the information.
Perfect.
So, but we will be giving out those P6 passes, and you're gonna want them.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys at Green Visor Gang for those Phase 6 passes for our Splash the Pots. Also, Jim Reed with Rec Poker has promised us some premium memberships to give away. Turbo, I picked up those Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards he sent money for. There's going to be $25 gift cards, so that's an awesome thing. My daughter Nat's bringing some gift cards. I'm not sure what she's bringing yet. Irene has a sweatshirt for us to do a drawing for. Um, Karen is giving us a GTO Wizard starter subscription, a 1 month starter subscription. So thank you, Karen. The WPA has promised us some gift bags, and so they're going to be brought over by one of the WPA board members. She's going to join us and have some fun at the meetup game. Of course, I have a Vera Bradley travel bag. We're going to do a drawing with all the ladies' names so that they can win that prize. Also, we have some Vera Bradley blankets to give away, some books, some coffee mugs. And don't forget, we're playing for a trophy, a B 52 bomber trophy. in honor of Brian, who won the Shark Trophy last time we had a meetup game because he was the chip leader for the day. We'll do the same thing after 3 hours of play. Whoever the chip leader is will win that B-52 Bomber trophy. And let me tell you, the competition's going to be fierce because people want that trophy, Isaac. Oh, it's too funny how many messages I've gotten about that trophy. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, Kieran, tell us. I'm going to start driving. Kieran, can you tell us about your Cherokee run?
Yeah, I had a great trip. I suffered the whole time I was there though with bronchitis, which I'm still fighting with. But I had a great trip. I cashed 4 events and final table the nightly, and went really deep in the 40 40 40. So yeah, I had a great trip. In the 40 40 40, I had I don't know if pleasure is the right word. I played with Maurice Hawkins. And accidentally slow rolled him. He wasn't happy, but he didn't cuss me, so that was good. And then 3 hands later, I busted him out, and so we were thrilled that he was gone because he's very difficult to play against for me anyway, especially at a lower buy-in. I mean, he just plays almost every hand, and he doesn't mind rebuying. Well, I do mind rebuying. So, but when I got rid of him, I was briefly the hero. We were all, yeah, got rid of Maurice. Well, then later in the day, I'm there all day, hunkered down, and then he comes back about an hour from the money. He had rebought and he got moved back to our table, but he was in a much better mood, charming the table. He was pleasant at that point, and everybody was kind of tightening up, himself included. So it was a little bit easier, and then we got in the money, and then they broke our table. But I wasn't planning on staying there overnight Sunday night, but I did extend my stay to Monday since I went so deep in the 40 40 40. A great time.
Well, good for you. And I was kind of keeping up with Karen, and she did a great job there. So kudos to you, Karen. And, your new BFF, Maurice, maybe he'll come and join us. I was kind of trolling him, of course, to come on our space so we could talk about the recent happenings he's been involved with at that home game. And it was really, Karen and I found a good chuckle when he found his way to her table the other day. But I did see a video of a final table in Cherokee, and he was at it, but I didn't find out what the tournament was. Um, he didn't win it, but he definitely was at the final table. So I wondered if it was that tournament you were referring to.
No, he busted before me in the
Okay,
40 40 40, because I was kind of, after I busted, I went and scanned all the tables because I was looking for some of the showdown people and Maurice or anybody I'd played with, just scanning for anybody I knew. But
sure.
I had heard that too while I was there, that I think he got second in something, but I'm not sure that it was second or which event. But somebody knew, also mentioned that he had gone to a final table.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, on that video, um, you only see him for a brief moment, but I was like, oh, Maurice made that final table. I wonder what event it was. And so I had planned to ask you if it was that event or whatever. So anyway, kudos to him for getting to the final table. Job well done, Maurice. Job well done. The one thing you can't begrudge the man is the fact that he's a good poker player. So kudos to you, Maurice, for making that final table, buddy.
I mean, and I'll just add, yeah, I mean, he's a good player. And even though I was happy for him to leave, I'm kind of glad I got to play with him 2 or 3 levels because, it's just instructive to see the winningest ring player and how incredibly aggressive he is, compared to me. And that's an area that I'm working on, is up in my aggression. So it's pretty impressive to see. I mean, I swear he plays almost every hand.
Because he probably does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have found that most of the winningest poker players play very high VPIP, but some of the um, training, coaches say in their training, VPIP should be this or that. And yet all these pros are playing, 70% VPIP, 80% VPIP. Look at Alan Keating. What's he, 90% VPIP?
My fucking
I
hero.
love him so much. Love him so much. I just think the world of him. I'm glad I've had the pleasure to get to know him a little bit here in Spaces. And I just admire him as a human being, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And he's been a great ambassador for fucking poker.
Yes.
Like what he's been doing is just fucking dope. It's great to see. Like I've enjoyed a lot seeing his rise. Like definitely a fan of Keating.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I really appreciate his recent calling out of the AI usage of AI in I hate that the people used AI because they really kind of spoiled a good thing. The WSOP was trying to promote poker to new players through their video series. And, it's kind of a shame that the, person working on the videos, you know, didn't think about the consequences for actions or the fact that you don't need AI. You've got some of the most talented poker players in the world. You don't need AI for, comments from them. Like, get the comments actually from them, you dumbass. But anyway, I appreciated Alan bringing that to the forethought for us to that's what happened.
I honestly think that the fact they used AI was just someone was being lazy. You know,
Yes,
that's the shitty part about it. Like AI is supposed to help good things happen faster, not shitty things happen
right.
easily,
That's
right?
100% agree with you. It was somebody being lazy. They maybe didn't want to have to, get a camera out to get another quote and guess what? It's okay if the quote would have been after the fact in order to help meet the storyline. There's no problem with that. But to create one, unbeknownst to the person that you're editing it to, yeah, that's a no go. That is a no go.
Yeah, not at all.
Unbelievable. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to bring up? ASG, I'm going to start with you.
We'll save it for another time.
All right, deal. Um, Karen, how about you, babe?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, good. Because I see I'm losing my connection, so I think I'm just better off cutting my losses. Isaac, anything you want to bring up that we can't wait till tomorrow for?
No, no, we can wait till tomorrow. It's all
All right,
good. Y'all have a great day, everybody.
appreciate everybody. And tomorrow we will be doing this space from the Atlanta airport as I wait for my flight to head to Las Vegas. So be prepared for lots of noise and intercoms and announcements and all that good stuff. So that will be tomorrow from the Atlanta airport. We're on the move, people. Appreciate you tuning in for sure. If you're listening currently or in the future, appreciate you. Uh, look forward to day 10 tomorrow for sure. And to my co hosts, I appreciate all three of you for uh, always willing to support what I do and make my life a better day. So appreciate all of you and have a good day, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.